Hi, I'm Mike Richardson.
I'm Kyle Pavlonis.
And I'm Hannah Tambali. And we had Perseus.
Perseus was discovered by a Greek astronomer, mathematician, geographer, and astrologer named Ptolemy in the 2nd century. He is a man of many talents, and he also contributed to the finding of the data to compute the positions of the sun, moon, and the planets. It was named after the Greek mythologist Perseus and can be found in the celestial hemisphere. And Kyle will be telling you more about Perseus.
The story of Perseus starts, he was the son of Danae and Zeus, so he was a demigod. Zeus was a Greek god. The story of him going to slay Medusa, there was a king who fell in love with his mother, and Perseus was very protective of his mother, so the king decided to send Perseus on a mission to slay the Gorgon Medusa. It was supposed to be a suicide mission, he wasn't going to be able to do it. But the gods Athena, Hephaestus, Hades, and Hermes gave him gifted weapons and armor, a sword, a shield, a helmet, and winged sandals. He used these weapons to slay Medusa because the helmet made him invisible, so he snuck up on her. And then, as many of you may know, Medusa's glare supposedly turned you into stone. So he reflected her glare back at her with the shield and then chopped her head off, and which can now be seen. He can be seen holding her head. It's one of the brightest stars in the constellation. It's said to be him holding her head. And then on his way home from this journey, he stopped at a kingdom called of a king named Atlas. And this is where he also met the princess Andromeda and saved her from a sea monster. Once he brought her home, he got married, had several children, and the story goes that they settled down and now can be seen laying next to each other in the sky.
Perseus can be seen throughout the year during different times at night because it's so close to the circumpolar stars. And it can be seen if you live northwest around 9 o'clock p.m., usually during August. And it's beside other constellations, as you can see in the picture, Andromeda, and at the bottom there's Taurus and Aries. And it covers 615 square degrees, and it ranks 24th of the 88 constellations in size. It's in the northern sky during the northern hemisphere spring. The galactic plane of the Milky Way also passes through Perseus, but it's obscured by molecular clouds. It's most famous for its annual Perseid meteor shower, which Mike will talk about next. It's famous for the star Algol, also known as Beta Persei. And there's 6 stars in the constellations that are confirmed with planets. Messier 34 is also in the constellation, which is an open cluster that has about 400 stars. And there's also a nebula called Little Dumbbell, also known as Messier 76, which is 2,500 light years from the sun. The brightest star is the yellow white supergiant called Alpha Persei, and it shines at a magnitude of 1.79. That star, also with others, is part of an open cluster called the Alpha Persei cluster. And Algol, the star that it's famous for, is noticeable to the naked eye, and it's also an eclipsing binary star. The Perseus cluster is a massive galaxy cluster, also located in the constellation, that is 250 million light years from Earth, and it hosts the radiant of the meteor shower.
Now we'll talk about the Perseid meteor shower. For those of you future astronomers, it is the most common meteor shower there is, and if you would like to go and see it, specifically, it is the most active between August 9th and 14th, and it is seen between Perseus and the Andromeda constellations. And we know that it's the most common, and we see it the most because it's been observed and studied for the past 2,000 years. And for our sources, and references, any questions? Thank you for listening.